Please join me in welcoming the faculty of the College of Arts and Sciences. Leading the College of Arts and Sciences is Economics Associate Professor Emily Beam. Okay, it's time to welcome the class of 2023. Graduates, family, and friends. Y'all, it hadn't even started yet. Graduates, family, and friends, please join me in welcoming Dean William Falls and the platform party of the College of Arts and Sciences.
Good afternoon, all. I'm going to open our proceedings by calling on our esteemed colleague, Professor Jean Shea, to open these proceedings. Jean, give us order.
Order! 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 These proceedings are commenced.
Okay, you can all be seated. Please join me in welcoming the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dean Bill Falls.
Congratulations to the class of 2023. It is my honor and privilege to stand before you on this special day as we celebrate your graduation from the College of Arts and Sciences. First, I would like to express my gratitude to the people who made this event possible. I want to thank our phenomenal Dean's Office staff who worked tirelessly with our students throughout the year and ramped up to an exhaustive pace in the weeks leading up to this day. Additionally, I want to extend my appreciation to the chairs and directors of our 30-plus academic departments and programs and our commencement marshals. I also want to thank the members of the University Brass Ensemble and Matthew Berard's Celtic Band, who provided the music for our processional, and all those who worked diligently to get the campus ready for this grand celebration. Lastly, and importantly, I would like to give special thanks to Matthew Clays, who organized this wonderful event, and the extraordinary student services team who helped to produce today's ceremony. Please join me in thanking this amazing team. We also have many faculty members here today. They are the lifeblood of the college. These extraordinary teachers and scholars share their passion for learning every day with their students. Please join me in thanking our faculty for making UVM and the College of Arts and Sciences a special place for learning and scholarship. To our graduates, this celebration is for you. It is a recognition of your dedication, hard work, and resilience. Let me underscore resilience. More than half of your career at UVM was under pandemic conditions that altered the way you learned, lived, and socialized. Despite these challenges, you persevered and you succeeded. As you transition to UVM alumni and enter the next phase of your life, remember this experience. You will face other challenges, and when you do, draw on the success and the confidence in your resilience. Today, you have earned a liberal arts degree. This degree is rich in exploration of the arts and humanities. In addition to the wonderful depth of knowledge you have acquired in your major, over your time here, you have developed and honed essential skills such as intercultural fluency, collaboration, leadership, critical thinking, written and oral communication, and information literacy. These are the skills that make you intellectually resilient and prepare you for career opportunities that lie ahead. These are the skills that support a rich and satisfying life as an engaged citizen and a lifelong learner. So, to the class of 2023, I offer my congratulations, my admiration, and my heartfelt thanks to all of you, and for all that you will continue to do. You have made us proud, and we cannot wait to see what the future holds. Congratulations and best wishes on your next adventure.
Each year, we take a moment to recognize our faculty members who are granted emeriti status this year. And this year, we get to recognize 12 amazing professors, many of whom our students will know well. I'm going to read them in order with their years of service, and think about the years of dedication that has involved. Professor Patricia Elaine Riley Ajami, 17 years of service. Professor Mark Boughton, 42 years of service. Professor Donna Brown, 29 years of service. Professor Eileen Bergen, 35 years of service. Professor Sarah Carlton, 28 years of service. Professor Ann Clark, 35 years of service. Professor Cameron Davis, 33 years of service. Professor Rex Forehand, 20 years of service. Professor Shirley Gideon, 42 years of service. Professor Dan Krimkowski, 32 years of service. Professor Juan Mora, 34 years of service. And Professor Martin Thaler, 40 years of service. To these amazing faculty, thank you. Thank you for your dedication to your students and faculty colleagues here at the University of Vermont for so many years, and for your passionate commitment to study and teaching. We will miss you, but we wish you many happy, healthy years without us. Okay, we have a student award we want to announce. This is the Hannah Howard Prize. At Friday's College of Arts and Sciences Awards and Honors Ceremony, the Hannah Howard Prize was given to one undergraduate student who achieved the highest grade point average in the college while enrolled in a full-time basis. Will Grace DiGiacomo please stand so we can recognize your achievement? Oh, she's standing already. Wave, come forward and wave. She's over there. It's a day of thanks. After thanking the faculty and students and staff, I want to take a moment on my part to thank all of you, our students, for what you have done to make us a college. During your time at UVM, you've engaged, challenged, sometimes confounded, often inspired us, your faculty. And crucially, you knit us together. When you cross the stage soon, and I promise it's going to be soon, you walk as representatives of different departments and majors. You are, more fundamentally though, representative of a larger college. All of you have taken courses across our curriculum to fulfill our requirements. But most of all, you've embraced the liberal arts ideal, the ideal of exploring ideas from different perspectives and diverse disciplines in order to more fully understand the complexities of the world we live in. For the most ambitious, and I do mean ambitious, that means complicated, unrelated double majors: biochemistry and economics, anthropology, theater, environmental studies and French, physics and history, Russian and political science, philosophy paired with neuroscience, studio art paired with sociology. You know who you are. More commonly, for the mortals among us, you've combined majors and minors, either across the college or across the university, that allow you to dive deep into the subject matter for your major while then exploring your other passions, bringing in your other interests, building that wider knowledge. So thank you. Thank you for that engagement across fields and departments and program, for the passions that you have brought to the liberal arts here at UVM. By exploring the breadth of what we offer, you have brought us together as a college. By bridging fields and disciplines, you demonstrate what it means to approach questions from lots of different vantage points, skills that you're going to have many, many opportunities to use from this day forward. We're a great college because of you. So students, thank you. Okay, that's the end of the speeches. We're now at the moment you've been waiting for, the start of the diploma presentation. Couple ground rules as we get started. Students, out of respect for your fellow graduates, please follow our directions of the marshals in return to your seat. You also need to follow the directions the marshals getting here, otherwise you will end up with someone else's diploma. We don't want that. Please note for students, you may not be returning to exactly the same seat you started from, so if you have anything with you, please carry it with you during the procession. The undergraduate degrees are now being awarded by Dean William Falls. Names are read valiantly by Associate Professor of Linguistics Maeve Eberhardt and Associate Professor of Classics Jacques Bailey. After today, unclaimed diplomas may be picked up at the office of the registrar's front counter located behind me on the 3rd floor of the Waterman Building between Monday, May 22nd, 12 to 4:30 p.m., Tuesday through Friday, the 23rd through the 26th, 8 to 4:30. After that, we will mail them to you. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to ask the chair of the Department of Anthropology, Professor Luis Vivanco, to please come forward. Wait right there. There's always technical difficulties. Hold still. We'll get there. Give her the card.
Jacob Matthew Albel Palmer. Elena Bachman. Madison Elizabeth Brown. Riley Jane Brown. McAllister Bunders. Jane Burton. Lily M. Coleman. Marette Anderson Cowles. Alyssa Rhea Decker. Catherine Easterday. Stephen Matthew Eisenstadt. Hannah Fletcher. Noah Jared Freeman. Abigail Hansen. Fiona Haverland. Madeline Lorene Hunsinger. Chloe Isabel Jackson. Quinn Kennedy Johnson. Raphael Philippe Lajeunesse. Leah Lakomiski. Michaela Shaw Mateo Smith. Evening Melody Meehan. Miranda Whitley Miller. Paige Nicole Moulton. Isla Joy Parton. Maria Belen Rivera Moreras. Sarah Michelle Seberg. Jessa Smith. Natalia DeJong Stamatos. Caitlin Elizabeth Stupinski. Rebecca Hawthorne Thistle. Isabella Maria Vasallo.
And now for the program in Art and Art History, the Director of the School of the Arts and Professor of Art History, Kelly DiDio.
Morgan Ilana Aponte Clark. Madeline Elizabeth Bennett. Charlotte Lee Bigger. Alaya Bess Burr. Kate David Castle. Christina Correa. Tristan James Cox. Annabelle Creech. Sydney Colbert. Grace Marie Curtis. Grace Ann DiGiacomo. Isabel Dunham. Lauren Alexandra Fasano. Ariana Freeman. Kelty Goodrow. Samuel Fisher Hayden. Audrey E. Huston. Lilia Tenbrook Manet Hutchins. Kaya P. Jackson. Mira Kasinitz. Eliza Claire Katz. Ivy Jack Kirby. Ansley Lane Kish. Eliza Ligon. Elizabeth Renee Myers. Isabel Pipa. Isabella Athalia Putin. Brad Samaha. Annabelle Lily Smith. Sawyer Evalie Thompson. Jessica Elizabeth Trontel Voss. Danielle Ilana Weinberg.
Representing the Department of Asian Languages and Literature's Acting Chair, Professor Joseph Acquista.
Kimberly Noel Fox. Aki Jacobson. Shin J. Kennedy. Tiffany Fong. Benjamin Francis Smith.
Representing the program in biochemistry, Director, Professor of Chemistry, Matt Liptak.
Emir Bajovic. Mackenzie Gabrielle Ballard. Zoe Bui Barton. Brian William Boyle. John Cullen. Madison Fletcher Sora. Ilana E. Driscoll. Ryan James Dufany. Ryan James Fitzpatrick. Natalie Page Godreau. David William Haddon. Emily Hancock. Elise Claire Hassett. Rowan Schuler Hayes. Isabel Anahid Cressy. Alexander John Lefebvre. Kenneth Mackenzie V. Elizabeth R. Morse. Anna K. Pace. Chloe Palmer. Michelle Pulowski. Shane Cabot Riley. Olivia G. Stanley. Nathan Cooper Stein. William Stoll. Abigail Kathleen Sullivan. Zachary James Taylor. Andrew Milan Tekel. Mirabella Vulik. Justin Michael Zielinski.
Representing the Department of Biology, including majors in biological sciences, biology, zoology, and plant biology, Chair of the Department of Biology, Professor Brian Bailiff.
Majd Ali Abeldegani. Rosa Atienza. Scott Michelson Bandola. Sarah Deanna Bauman. Jacob Benjamin Ben David. Emily Anara Bisordi. Christina Marie Brenman. Colin Harrison Brown. Olivia Ann Buddington. Aiden Bundock. Megan Catherine Byrne. Colby D. Karak. Ella Madeline Cheney. Megan Baxter Clougherty. Allison Tam Collins. Samuel Forrest Cranston. Nicholas Brian Delory. Caitlin Marie DeMatteis. Bailey A. Donovan. Marielle Dunn. Peyton Dunphy. Christopher Daniel Dwyer. Tess Carmela Egan. Kate Eastwood. Patrick Walston Flaherty. Emily Hannah Freed. Elise Furr. Maxwell Jacob Gailey. Taylor Alexis Gauthier. Dylan Gilman Jones. Lauren R. Giroux. Isaac Goldman. Noah Rossiter Gowell. Ethan Joseph Harvey. Kelly Rose Harding. Brianna Jacqueline Heller. Eamon Haney. Madeline Ann Holm. Avery Lily Holmes. Riley Cullen Humphrey. Catherine E. Kelly. Samuel Korajian. Naomi Young Ning Kopser. Rachel Langlos. Nolan James Larkin. Ian Arden Larson. Samantha Rose Lenis. Lydia Riley Levinson. Sophie Lindy. Cole W. Logan. Sarah Alicia McDonald. Alexis Noel Mancha. William Marcotte. Abigail M. Martin. Reese Mashia. Theodore James Mice. Madeline Elizabeth Melita. Erin Elizabeth Miller. Cameron Atara Mokin. Margaret Faye Murphy. Sure, thanks. Antonia Natsugawa. Matthew Christopher Nickerson. Kiana J. Nobumoto. Megan Ashley Packard. Samantha Nicole Page. Nicole Elizabeth Ann Paolo. Adine Pecco. Nicholas J. Perchunik. Eve Francis Phillips. Angela Plosangangnam. Bishnu Pokral. Margaret Rose Youngley Poliferon. Mina Popas. Sabrina Redzik. Evan P. Renzendez. Maddie Ryan. Mackenzie May Sackett. Brian Jose Sanchez Matos. Andrew Nicolas Silva. Teddy Alexandra Simons. Minal Singh. Noah Michael Smith. Daniel Stodard. Nicole Ann Tessier. Maeve Danica Thomas. Emma Vergao. Zachary Samuel Weitzman. Zachary Elliott Wellens. Marlana Brooke Winchell. Maxwell Charles Winterhalter. Anne Twente Wong. Gabrielle Elizabeth Wynant. Maria Zelinsky.
Representing the Department of Chemistry, Chair and Professor Matthias Brewer.
Olivia Lauren Geisler. Seamus M. Higgins. Emma Bremen Jones. Wen P. Lei. Rebecca Mendelson. Daniel Orem. Peter Osicki. Giuseppe Petrucci. Oh, no. Isabel Eleanor Petrucci. Isabella Shapira. Jules Thanen. Nikki Villarini. Chanqing Zhao.
The Department of Classics, represented by Professor Jacques Bailey.
Jeanette A. Chim. Alexa Christ. Emery Flavin. Sarah Rose Hoffman. Annalise E. Holden. Felisa Dawn Hollenbeek. Anastasia Erica McNeil. Peyton A. McNulty. Tara L. O'Donovan. Madeline Christina Ringham Smith. Nancy Lynn Snow.
The Department of Computer Science, represented by Professor of Computer Science Jason Hibbler.
Rachel Alexander Atherley. William James Dempsey. Stephanie Jeanette Godes. Nate Layler. David Matthew Lundy. Aidan McCormick. Drew Miller. Chris Sheehy. Matthias Tefre. Sonali Thakar. Jonathan R. Thomas.
The Department of Economics, represented by the Chair, Professor Sarah Solnick.
Cameron M. Ackerman Fady. Spencer Ahern. Skylar Ayers. Charles Stevenson Bradley. Joshua Roger Chu. Eleanor Patrice Dugan Churchill. Seth Joseph Cornoyer. Harrison Sean Kramer. Emma Forrest Cripps. Enzo M. Delia. Michael Charles Duffy. Emma Lee Dwyer. Matthew M. Eldridge. John Edward Fannin. Ann Stannard Garner. Andrew Haynes. Charlotte Ying Harris. Grant Joseph Hoffman. Jonathan Lewis Kaplan. Quinn Campbell Kelly. Joaquim Yagi Linstall. Christopher John Marshall. Nathan McKenney. Zachary David Miller. John Alexander Morris. Herschel Muntew. Sam Patrick Nyland. Ilariana Rakak. Lindsay Purnell Rogers. Lydia M. Saburin. Olivia Ray Santini. William Stanberry. Ivy Stanton. Sadie Strom. Sarah Grace Taylor. Alden C. Wheeler. Patrick Wilson. Willow Angeli Zatarian.
The Department of English, represented by Chair, Professor of English John Gennari.
Connor W. Adams. Eleanor Grace Mendez Ashton. Jackson Allen Baker. Alexa Gregoria Beltre. Lauren Bentley. Milo Boricus. Catherine Noel Brighton. Jasper Evan Burak. Caroline Carrera. Henry Chu. Esther Hazel DeMag. Kayla Austin Duval. Vivian May Fink. Taylor Catherine Galinas. Joshua R. Gerber. Kayla Gray. April Hall. Natalie Haskell. Madeline Holden. Julia Beth Lewis. Julia Pax Logodice. John Thomas McAllister. Molly McDonald. Evan McManus. Aiden McPherson. Dominic Minadeo. Alden Joseph Pursehouse Nichols. Olivia Norvell. Kate Elizabeth O'Farrell. Lindy Cass Olderman. Marina Paladinetti. Nina Pandia Pastore. Carson Petty. Joya Bella Putney. Samantha Randlett. Annika Ringen. Louise Evelyn Scoville. Catherine Rose Segaloff. Emily Seams. Brian Sperber. Madison Storm. Victoria Deer Waterfall. Samantha Watson. Jocelyn Wright.
The program in Environmental Sciences, represented by Director and Professor of Geography, Shelley Rayback.
Maxwell Anderson. Ruby Bertrand. Felice Angelina Brennan. Samuel Bomirski. Evan Scott Choquette. Bernardina Key Cordes. Tenju Kuhidi. Julia Christine Delamore. Matthew Owen Duchesne. Liam Duvally. Aidan Llewellyn Fleming. Megan Gaffney. Ryan Jeffrey Goodale. Romany Granzio Mackenzie. Maximilian Sawyer Hahn. Kate Hogan. James Israel Leggett. Harrison Kraut. Olivia Lewis. Malia Catherine McLeod. Hannah Pecora. Jonas Peters. Samantha M. Recias. Medwin Roberts. Aiden Joseph Rowley. Ethan Lee Venman. Jonathan Weisberg. Alexia Zagarola.
The program in Environmental Studies, represented by Program Director, Professor Sherry Morse.
Jane Albinson. Ryan Matthew Arkinson. Evan Tyler Bernard. Nicholas J. Bishop. Kaylee Hawkins Campbell. Caitlin Ann Cosgrove. Jennifer Cowig. Caitlin Ann Curran. Carolina DeBoy Weniger. Amy Danielle Earl. Maura Fox. Eliza Frankenthaler. Ava Margaret Gallagher. Claire Ann Golder. Samson Robert Gregorich. Emerson Odom Jeffrey. Ava Grace Kendrick. Catherine Louise Kreider. Anthony LaSalle. Ciara L. McAnee. Jacqueline McGrath. Zachary Melcher. Ike Edgar Maloney. Grace Morrissey. Lydia Grace O'Connor. William Philbin Cross. Catherine Elizabeth Moss Vipers. Alana M. Potts. Jolie Elizabeth Priest. Julia Christine Restelli. Isabella Royson. Erin Margaret Sanders. Kelly Catherine Sanford. Alexandra J. Schaefer. Matthew Small. Victoria Elizabeth Hardwick Smeltzer. Emily Kate Sobelman. Lucy Madeline Spieler. Christiana Springer. Kelsey Treat. Emma M. Wardell. Ethan Roy Whitman.
The program in Film and Television Studies, represented by Program Director Professor Hyunju Yu.
Wyatt H. Adams. Ian James Anglam. Dashni Antinov. Brian Behrens. Isabel Turner Coleman Brown. Zoe Margaretta Colgan Sellers. Lila Cumming. Annika Ellis. Sophia Isabella Grattan. Aidan Halloran. Matthew Kevin Haverty. Tyler Jacob Kepix. Jet Marshall Larrymore. Amy Madigan. Jylin Piandosi. Meyer B. Rogers. Jenna Schaefer. Emmett Trafton. Sabrina Rose Vargas Bacas. Madison Weaver. Dominic Williams. Casey Catherine Young.
The program in Gender, Sexuality, and Women's Studies, represented by Director Professor Tina Escaja.
Emily H. Britton. Ada Charlotte Case. Ciara Avery Mead.
Majors in Geography, represented by the Chair of Geography and Geosciences, Professor Shelley Rayback.
Nolan Richard Angus. Fosca Maria Bechtold. Benjamin Marshall Burnham. Lily Alexandra Gold. Ryan Hamilton. Matthew Hand. Garrett Z. Lilly. Oscar Carey McIntosh. Catherine Mooring. Molly Margaret Myers. Jake R. Pelle. Isabel Pittman. Sarah Brianna Plout. Jonathan Tara Rudy. Amelia Dennis Sherman. Jonathan Silverman. Raphael Wiener. Olivia Lynn Zito.
Majors in Geology, represented again by Chair of the Department of Geography and Geosciences, Professor Shelley Rayback.
Abigail Baker. Nathan Keith Degree. Ellen C. Descala. Nicolette J. Gardner. Megan Ashley Peters.
The Department of German and Russian, represented by Professor Kat Scollins.
Grace E. Breen. Elizabeth Koppas. Eiley de Blasi. Samuel J. Handy. Jaffrey Hedegaard.
The program in Global and Regional Studies, represented by Director Professor Pablo Bose.
Benjamin Robert Asak. Kiki Karasi Schwartz. Olivia Grace Hutton Colavita. Lily J. Donnelly. Mariah Catherine Hajduk. Michelle Gomez. Avery Nicole Laux. Miles McCallum. Margaret Mikhailov. Natalia Morawski. Emma Joyce Margaret Nichols. Jonathan Isaac Jurgen Shamash. Anna Siegel. Greta Rose Solsa. Caitlin Nicole Trottier. Gregory Spence Wooten.
The program in Health and Society, represented by Program Director, Professor Jean Shea.
Sajal Magali. Devin Ladd Binney. Deidre Boateng. Isabel Wagner Boutin. Kaylin Elizabeth Campbell. Kate Carlson. Melissa Lee Fowler. Molly Greenholtz. Philip Johnston Haddad. Catherine Ava Hansen. Maisie Hayden. Isabella Elise Hayes. Autumn Grace Headwell. Lauren Hilgert. Angelica Helios. Anthony Hilton. Mallory Kingsley. Matthew Christopher LaFountain. Lauren C. LaRue. Annabelle Eva Lessard. Nora Josephine Looney. Eliza Jane Mabby. Cassidy Marowitz. Aaron Matthews. Lily Bell Metzler. Ethan Emmanuel Nelson Barkin. Phoebe Ann Norman. Patricia Pena. Julia Margaret Saracen. Chloe Marie Schaff. Anya Splitgerber. Sari Stone. Olivia Tang. Elizabeth Dunleavy Tuttle. Grace Laura Weber. Ashley Welter. Sophia Winchell.
For the Department of History, represented by the Chair, Professor Sean Stillwell.
Joseph Lawrence Abate. Jackson Daniel Brush. Andrew Butler. Anya Chichak. Henry Aaron Clough. Anna Elizabeth Filoni. Jessica Sarah Fine. Zipporah Helma Lacey. Alexander Romero Galbraith. John Fitz Harrington. Joseph Gabriel Henriksen. Alexander Jason Hissong. David Edward Hobart. Ari Kramen. Jesse Cooter. Aidan James Kyle. Simone Elise Mortarano. Sarah Eloise McCarty. Sophia Mraz. Wade James Mullen. Lucas John Newton. Charlotte Frances Nicholson. Lillian Grace Page. Shira Natalie Palmer. Thora Penelope Roberts. Mark E. Russo. Sarah Faith Shapiro. Benjamin Carl Simpson. Gabriel Manuel Suarez. Paige Trapnell. Seth Vogt Vendosky. Nicholas Wendell.
The program of individually designed majors represented by Professor of Art History, Kelly DiDio.
Clement James Fisher. And Mark Benjamin Hopman, who can't walk across the stage today. Grace Keogh. Emmett Henry Kennedy Lurson. Brooke Emily McKean. Pamela Didi Tete.
We did it!
That was worth waiting for. The program in linguistics represented by Director Professor Maeve Eberhardt.
Kyle Chalanson. Daisy Columbus Grossman. Julia R. Kaplansky. Neil J. Pepin. Corinne Ida Stollerman. Narita Virginia Williams Rivera.
The Department of Mathematics and Statistics represented by Professor Jackie Yang.
Gabriel Reese Atkins. Benjamin Caravo. Charlotte Frances Crum. Noah Fritzhand.
The program in music represented by Director of the School of the Arts, Professor Kelly DiDio.
Siang Chen. Irene Choi. Andrew John Connolly. Owen S. Quartet. Connor Jacob Cohen Davis. Matthew F. Fisher. Jack Halpin. Elizabeth Ann Indirato. Brady Jalili. Sam Raymond Koskinen. Richard Kai Mahoney. Bruno McCarthy. Jessica McCarthy. Andrew McCusker. Justin Christopher Moyer. Martin A. Noxon. Sean Elson Nemoli. Liam Isaac Pearl. Justin George Plakias. William Robert Rickert. Benjamin Roth. Theodore Hubble Smith V. David Friedrich Tuborg. Calvin Vecchito. Forrest Zabriskie.
The program in neurosciences represented by the Director, Professor Alicia Ebert.
Holly Corinne Abrams. Caitlin A. Allen. Jillian Grace Berglund. Madeline Olivia Blanchard. Joanne Blaney. Samuel Avery Charette. Natalie Sandra Clavet. Phoebe M. Cousins. Kirk Dombeck. Tristan Avery Dapsis. Carolyn Tracy Dauria. Emily Dean. Hannah Dugrid. Eleanor Eager. Grace Ebner. Basmala Fadel. Catherine Knapp Flynn. Francie Lynn Frazee. Waverly Jane Gebhardt. Mia Gershon. Julia Mary Grokut. Morgan Janelle Guthrie. Alice Catherine Hammond. Madeline Henson. Ella Christine Hilton Van Ostel. Isabel Larkin Huckle. Joshua R. Hull. Catherine C. Johnson. Hannah Elizabeth Kevaney. Sarah Kubinski. Jack Landry. Claire Elizabeth Leduc. Isabel Lee. Patrick Malley. Anna Michelle Marchese. Jenna Ann McDonald. Connor Alfred McGinn. Jordan Laurel McGuire. Ian McHugh. Julie Elizabeth McMahon. Maria Angelo May Mateas. Sierra H.K. Mellons. Drake Huilong Nguyen. Madigan Natalie Paradis. Daniela Grace Pedro. Chrissy Peters. Laura Lacey Postigo. Rachel Davy Pressman. Francesca Ella Puccillo. Adriana Therese Quirk. Claudia Jane Riccado. Isabella Grace Richardson. Alyssa Gabrielle Saltz. Carmel Adi Schnur. Anna McKee Sellen. Genevieve Short. Emily Simonian. Rupan Singh. Meka Schumann. Michaela Anna Stoller. Emily R. Tardy. Ilona Vag Urminski. Constanza Marie Vendeln. Casey Leanne Wheeler. Ava Elizabeth Williams. Lucy Mitchell Wing.
The Department of Philosophy, represented by Professor Randall Harp.
Yep. Philip Moss Byrne. Jonathan Wiles Decatur. Justin Elder. Gabriella William Kautz. Cameron S. Lopresti. John Middlebrook Lynch. Ruth Tunick Oppenheimer. Alanis Renee Papulias. Skylar D. Rowan. Avery Louise Rubin. DeWitt Worrell Spiller. Ulysses Vogel. Julia Sam Wolfson Williamson. Yujing Wu.
The Department of Physics, represented by Chair Professor Randall Hedrick.
Alice Dennett Blake. Michael Alexander Darmetko. Zachary Frederick Forney. Noah Levy Jacobson. Leah Miriam Jaffe. Sean Magnifico. Clara R. Martirano. Cassandra Spalding.
The Department of Political Science, represented by the Chair, Professor Peter Von Depp.
Emma Noelani Allen. Lydia Anderson. Callahan Sandra Beck. Jessica Elise Becker. Dominic Joseph Bove. Ryan James Boyle. Elizabeth Marshall Chadwick. Chloe Elizabeth Chitvani. Aiden McCoffey, or M. Coffey. Erica Lynn Convery. Patrick John Conway. Brian Coppola. Bennett T. Corteville. Autumn Anita Crabtree. Virginia Austin DeFrancis. Maximilian W. Dodson. Brian Donahue. Benjamin S. Donsbach. William Douglas. Jack W. Farber. Nola Farrell. Alexandra Franzino. Dylan Alexa Getz. Hannah Francis Gottschalk. Michael Gutterman. Caleb Thomas Hale. Michael Parody. Grace Olivia Hasselbach. Abigail B. Head. Lucy Scott Heisey. Kieran R. Hogan. Peregrine Ibarra. Grace Olivia Jack. Nina Marie Janjigian. Sarah Kailani. Catherine Juliet Kimball. James Gustav Kinney. Emmy Angela Klassen. Reed Allen Langevin. Alexa Morgan Lewis. Eleanor Maeve Carlson Lowen. Emily McCormack. Spencer Oliver Merlino. William Moody. Grace Sinead Murphy. Isabella Lane Nick. Lucy Noveline. Nicholas William Parker. Sarah Lynn Pecor. Connor Fair. Carolyn Flatt. Phineas Dickinson Potter. Nora Ripley Grant. Annie Claire O'Connor Rissman. Rio Roche. Bradley Howard Roger. Benjamin H. Ross. Frank Carter Ruffin. Janessa A. Riea. Eric Sharf. Maggie Clay Sheeran. Danielle L. Stone. Jessica Elizabeth Svagdis. Erica Taylor Sweeney. Ruby Carmel Tetrick. Aspen Thornton. Seth Waitsey. Jess Watson. Jacob Wiener. James P. Williamson. Logan David Younce. Helena Uden.
The Department of Psychological Science, represented by the Chair, Professor John Green.
Anais Adedei Adul Pimentel. Isabel Alpert. Nathaniel Nolan Atkins. Emma Birgitta Baldwin. Sina O. Batix. Max Gunnar Stjarna Behrens. Sophie Beliveau. Anna Bizyukova. Hannah Jane Blake. Sophia Jacqueline Bloom. Jonah David Baruta. Madison Bryce. Mia Laurel Catalini. Lillian Grace Chachi. Emily Conant. Andrew J. Kahn. Clifford Henry Courtenay. Brianna Lee Cunningham. Ashley L. Darling. Luke Davis. Gabriella Durick. Maren Grace Donovan. Russell Doherty. Avery Elizabeth Ferguson Arrett. Caitlin Lauren Emerson. Veronica Escaja Heiss, congratulated on stage by her mother, Professor Tina Escaja. Eava Holly Butler Finley. Sabrina Ludmilla Fuchsen. Riley Jean Ford. Isaac D. Fury. Leela Gosh. Radhika Gautam. Olivia K. Genchos. Abby Gentili. Adriana L. Gray. Anna Lang Groner. Casey Joy Gutierrez. Elena Sophia Gaile. Catherine Robinson Hall. Sonia Apple Harris. Tori Elizabeth Haupt. Emma Howard. Thomas Howden. Tommy Hoyt. Emma Catherine Jacobs. Samantha R. Jaron. Isabella Jones. Phoebe Elise Kasparian. William Keaton. Robert Paul Kelly. Quinn Margaret Kirby. Elijah Klein. Oriel Kaliba. Adelaide C. LaSalle. Naomi Laver. Lindsay Rachel Lawrence. Ivy Ledward. Jessica Dara Lefton. Patrick Curran Logan. Ruby Longtine. Sophia Catherine Majerski. Kipper Marshall. Harrison Massing. Athena Matthews. Kelly Marie McAllister. Marissa Orla McDonald. Mia Stewart McKay. Jennifer Riley McNamara. Haley A. Meskin. Annabelle Missing. Margaret Lee Mitchell. Emma Susan Merkel. Abigail Ann Mooney. Talia Maria. Joseph J. Moulton Condiotti. Emma Murphy. Lillian P. Myrick. William Hall Nicholson. Elise Narodsky. Yasmin Nsame. Skylar Oliver. Ella Shao K. Optenberg. Gabrielle Beth Orlando. Carissa Georgette Pike. Nell Charlebois Plant. Elizabeth Rose Poole. Margot Ament Redway. Savannah C. Riley. Haley A. Rosen. Leah Hui Mei Rosenberg. Nicole Karine Ross. Talia X. Seidman. Justin Sherlock. Lila Singer. Megan Elizabeth Slevin. Shannon C. Smith. Julia Rose Sobel Farignars. Shauna Avon Staub. Mallory Ann Stafford. Emma Ann Stanganelli. Sydney P. Stemple. Eden Alessi Stöbling. Finian J. Sullivan. Savannah Sussman. Michael S. Tetro. Annie Thomas Sinkevich. Evelyn Thomas. Rowan Trask. Grace Tui. Mia Umali. Cassandra N. Wee. Connor Vakiner. Rebecca Lee Vandenberg, congratulated on stage by her father, Professor Richard Vandenberg. Brandon Vitek. Logan Von Heater. Beckett Elizabeth Wadley. Malcolm Stevenson Wallace. Emily N. Wassam. Katie Watson. Henry D. Weldon. Cody Wershoven. Charlotte Ann White. Elizabeth Ruth White. Samantha Lynn White. Nathaniel Hamilton Whitten. Riley Elizabeth Wilbur. Emily Wolf. Addison James Worsman. Megan Kimberly Wise. Landon York. Peyton Zantop Zimlinghaus.
The Department of Religion, represented by Chair Professor Thomas Borchard.
Annie Barton. Natasha Brown. Alexa Ramey Chinitz. Janet Frances Hawthorne. Indiana Burwell Peters. Rachel Hannah Selvin. Nick Slager. Evie Wolf. Rachel Isabel Zeef.
The Department of Romance, Languages, and Cultures, represented by Chair Professor Joseph Acquisto.
Maggie Calzaretta.
Congratulations.
Olenka Sarah Duncan.
Congratulations.
Ethan Samuel Frey. Nathan Crutchfield. Emma Rose Hayday. Caitlin May Kiley. Annie McMahon. Ariel C. Moss.
The Department of Sociology, represented by the Chair, Professor Jen Strickler.
Dareen Abdullah.
Congratulations.
Alexa Leah Ajudanpour.
Congratulations.
Henry Ashani.
Congratulations.
Megan Simone Ball. Cole A. Barstow. Emily Renee Boulette. Zana Branicki. Carolyn Anna Clark. Harper May Van Hook Colburn. Layla Delametovich. Skylar Eugene Devlin. Eliza Faye Ehrman. Aidan Fanning. Olivia Patricia Garvey Blackwell. Brianna Gawson. Raylyn Gabrielle Gladstone. Allison Rose Hager. Katie B. Hannon. Annalise Ersum Holland. Margaret Karen. Caitlin Kutash. Jessica Martin. Benjamin Peter McGowan. Christina McNeish. Freddie Morway. Michael O'Leary. Jared Arthur Papp. Yahel Ducky Pellinur. Alexa Sierra Pugh. Elizabeth Ann Siegfried. Ethan Campbell Smith. Nina Epstein Sonnenschein. Corinthia Alexa Steele. Annalise Stibora. Kira Stubanas. Copper N. Sutphin. George Siachkowski. Caitlin Taliabu. Haley Wilson. Dorian Lee Woods.
And now the program we've all been waiting for, the program in theater and dance, represented by the director of the School of the Arts, Kelly DiDio.
Evelyn May Bart. Connor James Phelan. Colvin C. Hathaway. Claire Rob Johnston. Charlotte A. Luby. Isabel Marion Martin. Julia Taylor Moriarty. Ella Myragard. Isabel Sellers. Mitchell Carter Wahlberg.
Just a quick reminder, students who did not somehow get their diploma, you can pick those up at the Office of the Registrar's counter behind me at the 3rd floor of the Waterman. If there's diploma in your cover is not yours, please also check in with us after this. Remaining diplomas will be sent home and mailed to you starting the week of May 30th. We're about to close here, but just again, a little couple business things here. Students, please allow the platform party to pass before you leave your seats. I will now call upon our esteemed colleague, Professor Shea, to bring these proceedings to a close. Once she has done so, feel free to toss your caps and celebrate. Professor Shea, send us off.
Okay. These proceedings are adjourned. Congratulations, class of 2023.